that I wrote right after I awakened to the flat earth, and I hope you enjoy it. It's called God's Home. So, put my glasses on. They found the edge, they found the dome. They found how God had made our home. From the beginning of Genesis, where dry land appeared, from the beginning of creation, the firmament was near. See, when Admiral Richard Byrd finished his Antarctic quest, indeed a frozen circle was Earth's best. So what of heaven and all its stars? Operation Fishbowl will show you they did not go far. They bombed and rocketed as much as one could, but to penetrate heaven they never would. So they gathered together at the UN, making a treaty between all men. The Antarctic Treaty will say, no one is allowed to go to the edge. No one is allowed to tell of the dome. No one is allowed to tell the truth of God's home. They say it's all for the good of humanity, but all it is total insanity. The earth is flat, the earth is still. We are protected by the dome and by God's will. And greater than that, God is nearer than we were led to believe. For just above the starlit dome is the place where he sits. Yes, it's God's glorious throne. We are not a speck of dust thrown into space. We are not a spinning ball tilted yet in place. We are God's creation, the apple of his eye, so loved and cared for that he sent his son for us to die. And now the day is far spent, and the time of his coming is close at hand. Unplug from the lies and deception of man. In all earth's beauty, in all earth's grace, the truth shall be known in every place. The globe is a lie, and outer space too. Remember they laugh at how easy it's been to fool you. So, there you have it. That was my first poem that I wrote right after I woke up to the truth of not just flat earth, but of so many other deceptions and lies of the world, and I'm so grateful to not be a slave. God bless all. Bye.
Hello, today is Tuesday the 13th of October 2015, and I'm just making a short message to say that I believe the earth is flat. I made this amazing discovery in September, just a few weeks ago, September 2015, and I've been researching the flat earth ever since. So wake up people, the earth is flat.
People need to start accepting facts. Like, you can't disapprove a fact. A fact will always be a fact. And that's a fact. There's no getting around it. There's no belief system on it. It is just pure and simple fact. Can't argue with it. It is what it is. And people need to start trusting their own instincts and their own eyes on things. Like, look around you. Open your eyes. Like, think about it. Feel it. Like, you know it doesn't feel right. You know that nothing about everything that you've learned doesn't feel right. People need to accept that. Accept themselves and accept truth in what they see. Like, I can tell you everything I know, but it ain't gonna mean shit until you go out and experience that yourself and come to some self-realisation and start accepting what's in front of you. Like, we're not gonna progress. Like, we're not at the peak of mankind. We are far from. We're at the fucking lowest as far as I'm concerned. Like, it's just a shambles. I just want people to have, like, more of something to give than just to obey all the time. Like, you can't just obey everything. When you know it's not right, and you know for a fact, everybody knows for a fact that we get shafted from every direction. From governments, from you know, authority in general. We get absolutely fucked, like, in every direction, royally fucked up the arse. So I just don't understand where people just think it's alright. Like, since when? Like, it doesn't justify shit as far as I'm concerned, so people need to sort their life out and just be honest with themselves, you know, and look around you. And do you know what I mean? Like, do you really want to live your life like as an insignificant being, if you like, because that's how they treat you? That's what they've made you believe. Yeah, it's not. That's a fact. That is a fact. They've made you believe that. Like, it's disgusting. I hate it.
Yo, what's up, YouTube? I just want to make a video response to people that say it doesn't matter that the Earth is flat. They say, oh, how is it going to affect your life? What difference does it make for you if the Earth is flat or not? Like, it doesn't matter. Shit would still be the same, whether people knew it was flat or they didn't. Like, people would still go to work, still wake up and go to work, like, do the job that they hate so they can get paid and buy shit that they don't need, right? So there are two people in particular. There is John Rose and Vegetable Police. They both say that it doesn't matter, like the flat Earth is just a joke. Like, even if it was flat, it wouldn't matter. John Rose says that it's a rabbit hole that will, like, suck you in, and you should not go there. Just take care of your life. And Vegetable Police just says, oh, it doesn't matter. I say it does matter. If it didn't matter, if people knew that, how is it not matter? Like, if tomorrow it came out on mainstream media news that this whole time the system was lying to everybody and really NASA is a sham and it's fake and the Earth is really flat, and then they've been deceiving people for 500 years. If that was a breaking news on ABC, Fox, NBC News, whatever mainstream media outlet, and it came out tomorrow just like that, would people just say, you know, it doesn't matter, it did not affect my life? They'll just have their morning coffee, wearing suit and tie, and just go back straight to work. No big deal. 500 years of lies, it's not a big deal, right? It doesn't matter. How it doesn't affect our life? There would be panic, there would be chaos on the streets, there would be riots if that shit would come out tomorrow. So it does matter. Why it matters? It's because the entire deception that everything in the universe and the entire universe itself is just a freak accident, right? Big Bang. I mean, that's what you say to a 5-year-old, you know? Like, that asks you, why the sun is shining? Oh, it's because of Big Bang. It just blew up. Give me a break. The reason they have this lie is to put in your mind that you are insignificant, that you have no value, that you're so tiny, and the Earth is tiny, and the universe is tiny, and stars They just want you to feel insignificant and of no value. Right? But when God tells you that He loves you and you are significant and you have powers in your mouth, in your eyes, right? We eat lightning and crap thunder. That's what we do. We don't get up and go do shit we don't like so we can get money. Why? Right? If people knew the earth was flat and there was a firmament in the sky, then they would accept it. They would have faith. They would not be deceived. The more faith they would have in themselves, in being important, the more faith they would have in God, which has created us in His image. It means we are powerful and we can run things and we don't need a boss. More faith would people have, the less fear they would have. Everyone you see around you is controlled by fear. People going to work not because they want to, because they have to, because they have no faith in themselves. They're afraid. So that's the basic concept, is to make people afraid, make people insignificant. So how's it? Doesn't matter. Oh, the earth is flat. Well, it doesn't matter, right? I would still go to my shitty job, right? Wrong. It would wake people up to the deception. So that's my thoughts on it.
Okay, so I thought I would make a
Flat
video
Earth
to tell
does matter.
sort of the story of how I got into Flat Earth, because that is what's really compelling for me, is when I hear how people came to this, because there are always people that seem to have a lifestyle that supports a lot of free time. And I wouldn't say that I have a lot of free time, because I mean, I have 4 kids, but we homeschool. And so it's not like I have to put focused attention on one thing for a long time. Sometimes I have to sit there and nurse forever. And so I'll think about things, especially since I stopped watching TV. Anyway, so for me, my sort of entree into this was because I'm a vaccine activist here in the Austin area. And, you know, of course, I read a lot of that, and I consider myself, you know, pretty well read on all the vaccine literature. And I'm in a lot of groups, and I have a lot of colleagues and friends who I really respect and who have excellent information. I feel like are really excellent resources. And so I was really surprised one day when an online contact who I had received what I would consider excellent and highly credible information from started saying things like, space is fake. I mean, I laugh thinking about it now. But, yeah, my father actually used to work for NASA. So crazy. And I remember telling my husband, like, this is so crazy. Why is this colleague saying this? He's not making himself look very credible or smart or so. And yet I found it intriguing. And because I respected the source so much, I decided to investigate his claims. And I can't remember exactly what I searched for, if I saw something else. But of course, I look at a lot of conspiracy and government kind of things as well. But a lot of this stuff is really new to me. Like I said, I've known about vaccines since 1997. But 9/11 stuff I just started learning about last year. And my brother has known a lot of this stuff for a long time, and in the family we sort of always say, oh, crazy Uncle Bobby, you know, and so we didn't really listen to him about chemtrails or any of that other stuff, mainly because, and I think a lot of people will resonate with this idea, we thought that it's impossible, you know, because we have these beautiful hearts, and we imagine that other people are like that too, that almost everyone is like that. Unfortunately, it's not the case. People are beautiful for the most part, and I still think, and I'll maintain that even like the elite and Illuminati and whoever, I mean, I don't go too far into that stuff because, like I said, I have the kids and it feels a little scary for me. Although I'm open to all the truths, no matter how scary, I'm just going to proceed slowly because of that. But I still think all of those people have, and I know actually that those people have immortal souls, and they're beautiful in the same way that we all are. But I think that there's like a veneer over them because they have so much fear that they're attracting this really dark energy. Dark matter. No, I'm just kidding about that. Yeah, so anyway, I was saying we didn't really believe my brother or anything like that. And but then, you know, I started looking at this stuff from being inspired by the vaccine friend. But he wasn't somebody I knew in person, so this was a couple of days, actually, because I'm always amazed when people say, oh, I looked at the flat earth and then I was a flat earther. I wasn't. It actually took me several months to really make this realization, and I realized also that it's, you know, letting go of a lot of programming as well, because then it's easy to see. So I started looking at that stuff and really resonating with it as truth, because I do feel one gift that I have, because I recently, like in my mid-30s, decided to speak the truth. And that means it was like a continuum. I mean, I think we're all humans. We all have lied. But I think that I was much more comfortable lying than telling the truth in most instances. I have a South Node in Gemini, so that should give you some clue about that. But I'm moving towards my destiny, which is the truth. And I realized the more I began to speak the truth, the more truth began to come to me. And that's what I tell the kids all the time too. And I didn't just instantly start speaking the truth at all times, because it was only this year, because I mentioned I have the 4 kids. It was only this year that I, with great shame actually, and openness, and that I revealed to them that there's no Santa and all that. And actually, because all of them believed from ages 2, well, I have a 2-year-old, a 6-year-old, a 9-year-old, and a 12-year-old. Even the 12-year-old still believed in Santa. Because in my heart, I was like, oh, I believe in Santa. And I mean, I still believe in fairies and so, but those probably actually are real, just at a different density. But no, all that Santa stuff is not, it's designed to make, I think that it's designed to make our kids feel comfortable with lies, and it's designed to make us adults feel comfortable lying to our children, because we lie to ourselves when we do that this is okay, and it's not. And I for me, because that's the other thing, I feel like there's a real sense of judgment for a lot of people who are coming into this, and it's possible that it comes from the necessary step of anger that we feel with the realization that we've been lied to for so long. I was 41 when I realized that we're not on a spinning ball. And I still will have like these outbursts to myself, like we'll be in the car and I'll go, ugh! And the kids will be like, Mom, it's okay, because they know why, that I'm in this internal thing of, I can't believe they told me it was a globe. I mean, it's hard, and it's really a process. And anyway, so I got into it from vaccines, and really started to look at all the things critically. And for me, the big turning points were reading Zetetic Astronomy and looking at some of the videos of Eric Dubé. His are really great. And my favorite now, though, that I'm recommending the most is the one from Marty Leeds that he just came out with. It's really where I think a lot of people who I deal with on a daily basis are resonating sort of there, because it's not, I mean, I'm definitely making a return to the Bible and looking at all those things which I think are beautiful truths that definitely were hidden away from me because I was invited to step away from all that stuff. It feels like from the culture. But I do think the process is different for everyone. And I also want to issue an invitation to other people to tell the story of how they got into this, so that we can find others who are resonating similarly, to really feel like, okay, this feels right to me, because we all have this beautiful ability to check in with ourselves. And because I tell my kids all the time, because I want them to cultivate it, try this idea on and let it sit in your resonance. Does this feel like the truth to you? And that was a major thing for me, because I look at the sun and I look at the stars. We got a telescope. We're looking at all this stuff, curvature, measuring, and so I'm making a video. And so it's all coming into all of our awarenesses. But even for my kids, there's a little bit of having to let go, because there's so much programming in TV and stuff on YouTube, which they don't watch a lot of TV, but they do take in a lot of Minecraft stuff from YouTube, and there's a ton of stuff in there still. Anyway, so I hope this is a good starting point, and that we can all talk about this stuff more in the future, and of course meet more people in person, because this is really difficult and isolating. So I love all of you seekers of truth, and I love the people who are still sleeping. And I think it's really important not to push forward on this sense of judgment, because Marty Leeds mentioned this in a video where he was being interviewed by Patricia Steere, and it really stuck out to me. And I even think I know which video he was talking about. He said that he and a friend were watching a video. They were getting super absorbed. He could see the friend's lights turning on, and the friend getting really excited. And then the speaker in the video said, well, if you don't get this, then you can just forget it, and you just go back to sleep or whatever. And, I speak for myself. I'm knowledgeable on a lot of subjects, but I'm not good at visualizing things. And some of the things like the sun at the poles, the midnight sun and those things, I had to watch those videos like 20 times to visualize it and to understand it. And I mean, I'm not stupid, and none of you is either, because we're all endowed with these beautiful gifts of discernment. But for a lot of us, the muscles are weak and atrophied from disuse. And we really need to cultivate these gifts. But as we do, they will grow. That's what I've experienced a lot, because I'm having critical thinking all over the place. It's really nice, and I'm thankful for it, and I'm grateful every day that it is increasing in me every day. And the talk about globe heads, and so, because like 10 minutes ago, we were all globe heads. And so let's all have compassion for the people who are still sleeping. And I think it's especially hard, like for some of us in our families, where, especially there might be name calling or belittlement or especially where the children are concerned. And so, because of course I get the comments of don't have children. Maybe I'll make a video about that, a ranting video. Let's all love each other. And I'm so excited to hear other people's stories, because we're all beautiful angels here having this angelic gift of an experience. And I'm so grateful to have been connected with so many of you. I love you.
Hello, my name is Brittany, and this is my Flat Earth confession. So, I've came across Flat Earth about, I don't know, a couple months ago, and I was never big on really life. I'm 29 last month, woohoo, almost 30. Finding that being flat brought me back to God, really. And I grew up never going to church, reading a Bible. Really anything on TV never really got to me. Because it was programmed that way. It was to be, you live on a globe in the middle of nowhere. You're in an accident. Doesn't matter. Good, bad. Anything you do, you're just a speck in the middle of nowhere. Even if you are a good person, it didn't matter. So, pretty much finding out that we are not on a globe, a ball of water spinning 1,000 miles per hour, circling the sun, circling a galaxy, circling fucking everything. So it's kind of a nice change knowing I'm not just nothing, and a little liberating, even though a lot of people feel the opposite, because they want you to feel like what you do doesn't matter, so you should feel good about that. No one's watching you. But even if no one was watching me, I was always trying to be a good person, and pretty much growing up with no path to follow. I had to find my own. And I guess it's a good thing, because it is, God wants to be found, not just handed to you, say, here, this is what you should believe. You should know and feel that what you found was good, not just he's worked for, really. So when you work for something, you appreciate it. And knowing that I found it on my own, no help, no guidance, it kind of just happened, which is more of faith and destiny, really. So I call this my Flat Earth confession, because I've tried to talk to people a little bit, but you see that indoctrination heavily, even when I just say, how do you know it's round? They come out with, you see the curve. Don't you know Coriolis effect? And I'm like, have you really seen the curve? And Coriolis effect only works if there's gravity, right? So, no gravity, no magical force that holds water to a spinning ball, which, really think about it, doesn't make sense. But anyways, for a while I was like, oh, that's cool, we're in the middle of nowhere, we spin, flying through galaxies with a whole bunch of other people. Not so cool when you think about you could actually be special and made on purpose. 'Cause even my life, I was an accident, being born. Not too bad. My parents love me and take care of me, and I have a child of my own. He's 7, and I can see him being indoctrinated now, and I don't know what to do. I haven't really told anyone in my immediate family about this. My mother just started going back to church with her new husband, which is wonderful because we never really were around it. So, and my boyfriend, the father of my child, told me you need to research God, and he recently refound him and told me to look into it, and I'd never really wanted to. But when I came across the flat earth is what brought me back to God more than just someone telling me to look into it. I got it from my mom, she's going back, and then my boyfriend's telling me to look at it, and then I'm at work and I listen to radio shows and videos and stuff. I'm an accountant all day, so I try to entertain my mind while I do busy work 40 hours a week, and so I try to entertain myself and, you know, keep it going, learning daily. So basically just learning all the stuff I've been seeing recently. Like, there's no curvature. Even if it was a ball, you wouldn't see it, because if there was a curve and you turn left or right, it's not going to keep going down. So I mean, even if you're on a ball, it has to be flat all the way around. So when people yell that out at me, I'm just like, your perspective's wrong, or you're just so indoctrinated that you just think you see it and you don't. And I'm big on math. I mean, I'm an accountant, so I did the research where they told me the equation and all that stuff. So makes sense. Stuff would lean away, which it don't. Obviously, buildings are all standing vertical, extremely vertical. They don't lean, which would be dangerous. So that couldn't be right. And then NASA never really believed that we went to the moon, just because all of it was so out there. And even my dad, he told me a long time ago, they're like, we never landed on the moon. There's no way, all those photos are fake. And then, you know, you see the videos, you watch it, and you really think about it. There's not a solid picture of Earth without being a painting or a drawing or cartoons, really. CGI is just a cool name for woohoo, cartoons. So I figured that one out. I am a painter, so I mean, after I started looking at it, perspective really hinders people's ability. They could tell you what you see, or they can tell you what you should see, and you'll see it, even if it's not there. So I'm trying to figure out a way to tell my family to basically look for themselves, not just believe me. But I wish it would be that easy, you know, because they just believe school. But somehow it's harder to believe me than a teacher who stands in front of you and says the Earth is round and we go really, really fast. Only on the equator and not at the poles. Wouldn't you, I don't know, weigh more or something? Get pulled? When you really think about it, the continents, wouldn't they be like in the middle of the globe? So when you spin, it would be like pushed to the middle? I don't know. Anyways. So, just coming to reality, really. Not knowing if it's flat or a plane that goes on forever or a simulation, or if it's really all in each person's head and none of it's real for anyone and everything's different. I just know it's not spinning in the middle of fucking nowhere, meaning nothing, and we're just an accident from a monkey. I mean, they say we're really close to monkeys, but we're not. That's a lie too. We're close if they don't count like half of our DNA, which, that's funny how that's science, but it's not. So just trying to figure out what to do, how to do it, starting to gather my stuff and present it. I have a couple brothers. I kind of brought it up to my partner, told him to watch a video, but I don't think he took me seriously, and he probably thinks I'm crazy. I don't even want to talk about it with him. It's more of, I rather talk to people who already feel the way I feel. I'm more of to comfort someone else that you're not the only one, that something's wrong, instead of trying to tell someone they're wrong, because that never seems to go right. So I'm gathering stuff. I'm making a PowerPoint for my brother, which is gonna be fun. Hey, look at this. Believe me. But kind of just getting it all together, because he was brought up like me. We weren't ever brought to church or with Bibles, like I said. And then my mom married a new man, and he has a couple sons. So I kind of need to bring it up to everyone. And then my father, he's big on conspiracies, which is kind of where I got it from. He always told me everything you know is wrong, which is really helpful when it comes to finding out that it's true. So I mean, when you're told this when you're young, it's not hard to believe, but when you're told this when you're 30, I think it would be a little harder. But I've known for a long time that we are programmed to think a certain way. It's more of they want to know what I will do before I even know what I would do. So when they indoctrinate you and program you, they can read you, and you'll play right along with what they want you to do. So I'm just trying to figure it out and how to go about this, because I don't want to hide it. Because isn't it God who told you if you know something, you tell someone? Really? Try to bring them to the light instead of sitting back and watching them knowing they're wrong. At least I can say I tried. So, I guess first video on Flat Earth, and I don't know how to make videos very well, so I guess it's like the best I can do for now until I know how to do it. Maybe I'll show you my PowerPoint if I can get it on here somehow. I don't know. But it'd be really great to start something local. I've been watching Rob Skiba, which is great because he's in the whole Bible thing that I'm trying to start. And I don't have a lot of time to be reading. I read, I do, but it's more of a relax than a study, because I am an accountant all day. I'm a florist during the day, and I cook bar food at night, and I'm a mom and a girlfriend, and it's very heavy. And then trying not to tell people what I've been doing for months and thinking about for months. It's kind of hard. I don't really I've been thinking for a long time on what to do about that, and to somehow figure out how to talk to him about it, and really figure out a plan on what to do. Because I want my kid to know that basically everything in school is made for him to just repeat and follow. So that's all they want. They can change history in 20 years. I mean, anything that happens and you're not there, you don't know, you just listen. So he's not going to know it's not round. He's not up in space looking down. he's just gonna believe what the teacher says because they're supposed to be smart, they're supposed to be ones to know. But they're so indoctrinated, they don't even know. So you have the misinformed teaching other misinformed and then literally wanting to fight you about it. But there's a lot of stuff I've come across that it's just, there's no way. There's no way it's round. I mean, theory of gravity, and they still call it that. Obviously, it wasn't ever proven. It's just magic. Like, just the stuff in school, I just believed because they say that's what you learn, and it's not. It's very troubling. So, I guess I'll put this one out. Start some other ones. So I know there's people out there. Obviously, nowhere near me. I'm in Marion, Iowa. Not a lot of cornfields. It is kind of a city. So I do want to find a place where it's not that I want to fit in, I want to feel like I'm not crazy, because I know I'm not. I've come across a thing, it's called it's hard to be sane in an unsane world. And it is. Sanity is very hard to find when everyone's sick. So that's my goal. I want to heal people, help, at least send out the right word and hinder the lies. So, that's my confession. Let me know what you think.
Okay, hello, hi everybody. I come to you today with a little bit of a heavy heart, feeling some sort of way about life and the world in general right now. And the beginning part of this video might not be, some people might think of it as being negative. I'm thinking of it as just sharing. I'm feeling a certain way lately, and I've had other people come to me, and I've come to other people, maybe for counsel or just to talk, because we're all feeling a little bit of a heavy burden, maybe a little bit of oppression or depression or anxiety with the way the world is right now, and just things that are going on that we have no control of, and maybe just the way that these things going on the earth are affecting us. So hopefully it will be some kind of teaching or learning lesson for myself and for others, and I hope that someone out there will get a little bit of something out of what I'm going to share. I've been feeling lately maybe not satisfied quite with what I'm doing in life. It's a little frustrating going to work every day, and I have 2 jobs. Frustrating going to work every day and feeling like I'm not living up to my potential. I'm going to try not to get emotional. And struggling with the conversations day to day, and I'm going to say with normal average people, and I just mean that in that they don't quite understand that Earth is different, and that our history is a lie, and that everything that they go about their daily business doing is false and fake, and what they see on TV is fake. It's everywhere. You know, the conversations at work, the goal of why we do our work, finances, you know, paying bills, struggling to make ends meet, working really hard and still struggling. And I get in the car, and I used to be able to get in the car and listen to music and enjoy listening to music, and that was like a highlight of my day, was listening to what I wanted on the way to work and listening to what I wanted on the way home from work or wherever I was going. Anymore, I listen to music, the mainstream music, and it's just depressing, or it fills me with anxiety. And you hear what people are talking about on the radio, and it's just like, I don't belong here. I don't even understand why they're talking about what they're talking about. The music doesn't give me joy anymore. Rarely watch TV, but sometimes we watch movies. Every once in a while I follow something on TV, usually outdoorsy stuff. But even so, even if I get like just a little bit of an inkling of what's going on in the world, listening to the politics, commercials about medication, commercials about cancer, commercials about just advertising for all the things that they want you to buy, I know I'm not the only one feeling this way. And I'm just so overwhelmed with all of these things around me that mean nothing. And I feel like I'm not doing what I need to in this world to make it better. Sometimes I feel like I'm spinning my wheels and kind of stuck in a rut. And then what's worse is that it used to be I really enjoyed, and God forbid if any of my close friends that I see in the real world see this, because I hope you understand that I don't mean this to be offensive, but knowing the things that I know and learning the things of this world that I've learned, and then getting together with friendships and family that don't want to talk about it, that think I'm crazy, that just they are the polar opposite of who I am and how I feel. It's so frustrating, and I know I'm not the only one out there that feels this way, that I feel so separated and segregated and lonely, and sometimes it can get overwhelming. Now, I talked about this and how I was feeling, and this is just the tip of the iceberg, because I don't want to get too emotional on here, with some other Flat Earth friends, and one in particular just the other day, and he knows who he is, just someone feeling the same sort of way, and made an alias account on Facebook so that they didn't get the harassment that they were getting from family, and worried about their place of work, where they work, which is such a shame. It's so aggravating and so frustrating and unnerving that we sometimes have to hide something as silly as the fact that we question the things of this world, like the shape of the earth and government and military and authority in general, that we have to feel so separate and segregated, and that we have to go through this harassment and this abuse. But anyway, I know I'm not the only one out there feeling this way. I'm hoping that this will touch some hearts. So after talking to a couple other people and people sharing the same thing with me, I feel like lately that there's a storm coming. And I don't mean rain and lightning and thunder. I mean something big is going to change. Something's going to happen. I'm not going to predict or try to throw out there what it could be, because I've heard all different ideas. I don't know what it will be, but I do think that something big is going to change here soon, and I almost am longing for something to change. And I don't want to see people get hurt. Please don't take that the wrong way. I just mean the everyday humdrum of life, and this feeling like I'm in a world of zombies is getting to be too much. With that in mind, we have this extremely interesting, anxiety-filled election coming up. No idea what's going to be happening with all that. I'm concerned for our country, concerned for people in general. But in all honesty, something major will happen, and the people that are zombies will feel like it brings them together, and they'll follow what the country wants them to do, and then we'll just be left alone and overwhelmed still. But anyway, to bring this back around, I started thinking, you know, sometimes we think, you know, why am I doing this? Why have I gone down this rabbit hole? Can't turn around and can't go back. You can't unsee what you've seen, and you can't unhear what you've heard, and you can't unknow what you know now. There's no turning back. So in order to keep myself positive, I try to look back as to why, you know, why I've done this to begin with, and what would give me motivation to keep going. And I thought about getting on here and sharing my backstory. And I know I promised that I would do that before. And hopefully, all the trolls and people don't care about what I'm saying have now left, because I've talked and rambled for a few minutes about how I feel in the beginning. But if you're still listening, I would like to share a little bit about my life and how I got into questioning everything in this earth, and then leading up to how I got into flat earth. And I've mentioned this on a couple other videos, but this way it'll just be on this video log. When I was 8 years old, first of all, I was raised a Christian, in a Christian upbringing, Christian family. When I was 8 years old, I was counseled to, when I was ready to, and when I believed wholeheartedly to accept Christ as my Savior, that I prayed and I did that. A lot of things changed then in my life when I was 8 years old. I feel like once I did that, I started being attacked. I very much so believe in a creator, and I very much so believe in a evil opposite. I know a lot of people don't. I'm not asking you to change your opinion. I'm not trying to convince you. I'm just telling you what my experience has been and what I believe. So everyone can believe what they want. And if you had a different experience, then I encourage you to make a video and share it with everybody. So when I was 8 years old, things started changing in my life. And one night, at the age of 8, I was fast asleep, and it was probably 2 or 3 a.m. in the morning. I was awoken, not by a noise, not by a light, not by anything that would normally wake you up. It was just a feeling, maybe like a feeling like I was being watched, some kind of eerie feeling like that. I got up out of bed. Again, there was no noise, and I looked. We lived on top of a hill in Liverpool, Pennsylvania, on about 4 acres, and we lived on a hill, and we lived in a double-wide manufactured home on a basement, and the basement was exposed on the edge, looking out over, like, from the hill where we had our lookout, our view. And my bedroom was on that side of the house, so my only window I had was looking out over the exposed part of the basement. So basically, you could not get to my window unless you were, however high the ceiling is, 9-10 feet, to the basement, and then another couple feet to the window. There's no way to easily get to my window. Anyway, I felt like I was being watched, and I looked out my window, and there was I will best describe a creature, and I know what you're all going to think, and it's exactly what I thought immediately, well, once I started researching it. This creature had the quintessential bulbous, cadaver gray head that was very large on top, very pointed towards the chin, almost no mouth. It had very black eyes that had no colored part, no cornea, I guess you call it cornea or the iris. No, it was all pupil, I guess. It was just all big black, like a bug eye, kind of teardrop shaped, huge, and they didn't look like eyes of something that you look like that would be alive. Like my eyes move and have emotion, you know, we have eyebrows and we move them. and this thing had no mouth. The eyes were very lifeless. Almost no nose that I can remember, maybe 2 little holes. Very skinny neck, very skinny shoulders, and it was outside my window. And it clearly was trying to get in, to get to me, to get at me, to take me, I don't know. And I was terrified. I wasn't able to say anything, even if I wanted to. For some reason, I could not say anything, no voice. I couldn't really move, but I wasn't stuck in my bed. I was standing. And I remember it kind of shaking its head back and forth in this erratic way, almost like its head was going to come off of its spindly little neck. And it was frustrated it couldn't get to me. It was acting erratic and aggressive, and it clearly was angry. And it did not say anything. It didn't make a noise. I just only felt how it felt. It was like telepathy, like however it was feeling towards me went right into my brain, and I couldn't respond. I couldn't do anything. It was cursing me. It was cursing God, the Creator. I don't remember what name it used for the Creator. I wish I did, if it was something I didn't recognize. But it definitely was aiming a lot of hatred towards the one protecting me. And I also felt a presence behind me, and this happens a lot to me, whether it's in dreams or in real life, where I feel that positive presence. It doesn't always let me see it. It's always just directly behind me, out of the corner of my eye. And I felt like something was there, and it was protecting me, and it was allowing me to go through this experience. It didn't protect me as in, well, I just won't let you go through this experience and let you go through the fear and listening or having imprinted what this thing is feeling towards you. I'm going to let you go through this experience, but I'm going to protect you through it. That's happened a lot in my life as well. And the only thing I could think of as an 8-year-old child was to pray, and I couldn't even get my thoughts together to barely make any kind of comprehensible prayer other than, God help me or God protect me. That's exactly what I felt was happening. And then this thing just kept getting more angry, and eventually it stopped, and it disappeared. It just stopped trying. It went away. And as a young child, I don't know why I didn't go get my parents. I just felt like I was kind of robotic in my movement. I climbed back in bed after the experience. I took I had stuffed animals, all my stuffed animals, and piled them around me like a nest. I don't remember why. And then I fell back asleep in between them. Now, that was from 8 years old. After that, I started doing immense studies into what I figured out what these things were. Everyone else on the plane calls them aliens, gray aliens. But I wanted to know why this thing that everyone's saying is from a UFO, from outer space, from another planet, that does abductions. First of all, why didn't it take me? Why couldn't it get inside to bother me? It was stuck on the outside of the house, outside of my window, and I believe that's because I was being protected. And why are we being told they're from space when this thing clearly was telling me that it hated God and hated the Creator? In my mind, tells me that it's something other than just something that was otherworldly. So I did a lot of studies from 8 years old on up to what aliens really are. And I came to the conclusion very young that aliens, reptilians, Nordics, all these things, the insectoids, it all sounds so silly, all these different races of alien creatures that we've been talked about and told about are in fact just evil entities that are controlled by the opposite of our Creator, the evil opposite. Whether you want to call him Lucifer, Satan, the devil, doesn't matter. They do his bidding, and they do anything within their power to corrupt mankind because they're very jealous of us, because we were created by God in his image. And we all know that Lucifer, or Satan, has a big grudge against God. So that opened my mind. That changed my perspective on the world. I became very open to questioning everything. As I grew up, a lot of things happened when I was younger, like the fiasco at Waco, and I very quickly started researching as to what really went on there. 9/11 happened, the wars happened. I questioned all those things, on up to all the false flags, all the hoaxes, the fake shootings, the fake bombings, our false reality and the reasons why we go to war. So much is in history is a lie, and I've studied a lot of that for a while. And I got into, I'm trying to think when I started with the flat earth. It was around, I know there's a lot skipped in between there, but a lot of us have gone through a lot of the same eye-opening experiences as far as what we ended up studying that was hoaxes and false history and false realities. Probably around, it was probably around January, February in 2015. I had been for a long time listener of Clyde Lewis's Ground Zero radio show. He had all kinds of guests on there, and I remember him saying he was going to have a guest on called Crow 777, or Crow Triple Horn on Facebook, and that he had been doing some odd studies on the moon. And I definitely did not ever agree with my whole life that we went to the moon. Did not make sense to me. I've always questioned the distance to the sun and how in the world we could live on a globe, although it wasn't very well known, but I remember questioning these things when I was in school. And then having to be given the quintessential answer and just shake my head and go away and take the tests and regurgitate the answers so I could pass. I always fought my science teachers on evolution. But anyway, around February 2015, I started looking into Crow 777's work and was just astounded. And I started questioning what really is the moon and what is going on up there, because his first reaction was, that is the moon a hologram? That didn't really set well with me, because he was recording what's called the lunar wave, and he didn't understand what it was either. I don't think that he still adheres to the moon being completely a hologram, but that's kind of what he was thinking when he first started. But he ended up coming on to Clyde Lewis's Ground Zero show, and the episode was called Lunomaly, like lunar anomaly, and that was, I think, March 10th, and I was so excited because I had been listening to some of his videos and starting to compare the sun and the moon. I was realizing that the sun was never setting or exiting in the same spot. You know, I was starting to make those observations and not really understanding why, and also understanding that I had no idea about the heliocentric model. What we were really told, I didn't even understand that, because it never made sense. So then I continued to study on the moon and this lunar anomaly, or the lunar wave. Clyde Lewis then also had Mark Sargent on his show, and that was in, I think, the first week of April. It was like April 4th or 5th, something like that. And that kind of corresponded with some of what Crow was talking about, just as far as the moon and the sun not being exactly what we were told. We were lied to about it. And Mark Sargent's interview was called This Geoid Earth, and I feel really bad because I absolutely love Mark Sargent's work now. But on that interview, they didn't really give him the time of day. They did not let him really talk a whole lot, and he wasn't able to get the point across quite as well as what he can now. But I think he mentioned Eric Dubay, and I started looking into Eric's Atlantean conspiracy, but at the time I had no idea why that even, corresponded with what Mark Sargent was talking about. But I looked into it, and then found some of Mark Knight's work. And anyway, I started getting sucked in and obsessed with it. And I kind of did my studies independently till about, it was either June or July. And I realized that there are Facebook groups. I mean, not just independent articles or like Eric Dubé's website. I started getting into the Facebook groups like the Ball Earth Skeptic, it was FE versus SE, or Sphere Earth versus Flat Earth, something like that. That was just a big fighting group, but it was interesting to hear everybody, you know, argue and the differences of opinions. Got into a couple really good groups and started feeling a certain way as far as how I do now, even still struggling with it, feeling very segregated, really struggling because family members don't understand, loved ones don't understand, friends don't understand, no one to talk to, and dealing with the harassment and the abuse because of it. So I decided to make my own group. I didn't make my own group until October of 2015. So 1 year is coming up real soon. And I named the group Flat and Happy, and I know that sounds funny, but I wanted it to be a group that I didn't necessarily want a debate group. I didn't want a hate-filled group. I didn't want a troll-filled group. I wanted a group where people could come and just literally share everything Flat Earth, all their observations, theories, experiments, photographs, art, and share it and talk amongst each other, learn more from each other, and then be able to share it on the outside world, and also then help each other dealing with the lies of this world and the fact that there's some loneliness with knowing the truth. And history was kind of made then. You know, I'm not tooting my own horn, but I thought I did a very good job with adminning, and so I got into adminning several other groups, and there's quite a few groups that I help with now, and I absolutely love it. Then I started feeling like I needed to give back just a little more, and I created a YouTube channel, started making content videos, and now I've morphed a little bit more from making content videos to doing these video logs because I don't really have the ability to edit right now. Kind of working towards getting a laptop where I can do all those sorts of things. Every once in a while I can borrow one, but it's not quite the same. But anyway, here I am now, and even just going over this, my backstory in my head makes me feel a little bit happier. I understand we're all struggling. I want you guys to know that you're not alone. I know I'm not alone. I know we can all share with each other. I know that the struggles that I'm going through right now will just be temporary. I know things are going to change, whether they change for good or for worse, that we're going to be there for each other. I really thank you guys for listening. If you guys have any questions, contact me. I tried to put as much in here as I could. I didn't expect it to go this long. But like I said before, I like to talk, and I really do enjoy sharing. And thank you again, everyone. Please remember to take away from this what you can. Hopefully it will help. And I would like you to seriously consider sharing your experience on video if you're able to. And if you're not able to, just make sure that you're enjoying your experience learning about the Flat Earth. Bye.
Alright. Today has not been a good day. Been very angry, okay, because of the stupidity of humanity and just how stupid people are, and how when you can mention flat earth to someone or anyone, they mock you, they try to crack jokes, they call you stupid when they're the fucking idiot. They are. They're the fucking idiots. You know what? I don't give a shit. I don't give a shit about these fucking people anymore. I've reached a point of no return. Okay? I have zero tolerance for fucking liars. Zero. And these fucking people in office and government and shit. It'll all burn down. I will watch every single one of them fucking burn. Either physically or emotionally. For lying. And people that are going to try to mock the aspect of why this is important is a fucking idiot. They don't know shit. They don't know anything. If you don't care about what the fuck you live on, or you don't know why that's important, that means the government did a great job on brainwashing your ass. And if you think these fucking Gerber-fed babies, okay, these college students, or these so-called scientists, know more, how? They sit in a fucking lab. They sit in a fucking classroom. They're stupid. I'm not trying to make fun of people that go to school. I'm just trying to say that they're not smart. Okay? They have no experience. They just sit in a fucking room and think they understand the fucking universe. You're a fucking idiot. You're stupid. You're stupid. Okay? You don't tell a mechanic, okay? You don't teach somebody how to become a mechanic in a classroom. You take them to the fucking car and say, hey, this is how you fix the car. What I mean by that is, while you guys are sitting in school learning about the universe and all that other fake bullshit, you have no physical proof. All your proof are facts on facts on facts of bullshit. That's all it is. My proof is the world doesn't fucking spin, okay? It doesn't fucking spin. The only thing spinning is your fucking imagination. And I have a right to be mad. And you'll see the reason why the whole ball earth theory isn't cut out and won't work out. Because any one person that finds the truth about the flat earth, they're worth 10,000 ball earthers. Because they're fucking mad. They want the truth. When you find out the real truth, all you want is more of it. That's all you, like, why are we being lied to? Huh? Gravity is bullshit. And I'll tell you how. If you're driving a car, okay, and there's a bee inside your car, is the bee moving with the car? No. Because if you move the car, the bee flying in the car is going to hit the back windshield. Okay? The only reason why we move with the car is because we're strapped in the car. It's not gravity. Okay? If I have a baseball and I tape a piece of paper on a baseball and I throw it, the paper will stay to the baseball because it's strapped in. But if I put a piece of paper on a baseball and I threw the baseball, the paper's gonna fall off. Which means we would all fall off the fucking earth because we're not strapped in by anything if it was spinning. It's stupid. It's not fucking moving. And if you can't research that, and you're gonna mock the people that are telling you the truth without even fucking looking it up yourself, I can't wait for the wrath of God to fucking put his fist through your fucking head and rip your stupid fucking statistic ego out of your fucking ass. Fucking stupid fucking people. I don't care if I'm cussing. I don't care. You're a fucking idiot if you think the earth is spinning 1,000 miles going through space. You don't even know where the fucking end is. And they're sitting here telling me that they know everything they know about stars when they can't even make it to the fucking bottom of the ocean. You can't even end homelessness. There's still fucking homeless people, and you're telling me that you know every fucking thing about the earth and everything about the fucking stars and shit. It sounds like somebody's fucking bullshitting. It sounds like somebody's fucking lying. It sounds like there's no fucking satellites up there if everything's land-based. If they lie about the fucking satellites, they lie about space, okay? If they're lying about what's in the middle of the earth, they're lying about space. If they lie about gravity, they're lying.
I kind of wanted to talk to you guys tonight about speaking about the flat earth with, you know, people you care about, like your family, your loved ones, your wife, your children, whatever. I mean, it doesn't matter. But same concept, you know, with anybody you love. It's very difficult to talk about these things because you're either going to be one of two or you're either going to be in one of two situations. That's what I meant to say. Either you're going to be in a situation where you're rejected, and that's been really common for me so far since I've been talking to my family, but or you're either going to be accepted. And you know, it's the same way with YouTube. You know, it's not really that big of a deal. You know, people just, their egos are going to get in the way of their thought, you know, about the whole thing. And some people already have. We're going to talk about family and the flat earth right now. I started talking to my brother about this type of stuff, and he was the most open-minded guy in my entire family. I thought for sure that this guy, he'd be like, for sure, he'd at least be willing to listen to what I had to say, you know, or at least like try to research it himself or something like that, you know. I know he's busy with his own kids and stuff, but still. No need to shun me now. My mother. I tried to talk to my mother about this. Shunned. Can't even get a hold of my mom anymore. Tried talking to my sister about this. That is the last thing she wants to hear. I understand where people are coming from. Their minds get in the way. They just don't want to question anything. They just don't want to look at things. And that's fine. It's up to you. I mean, like I said before in my previous videos, it's all up to you about how you want to deal with this whole plane of existence or planet or whatever the fuck you want to call it. You want to believe NASA, go ahead and believe NASA. I don't really care anymore. The thing is that I care about is just speaking my mind and being able to do that on YouTube, and I'm totally happy with that. So y'all can go fuck yourselves, or even my own family, go fuck yourselves. I don't care. You guys don't want to listen to me. You guys want to shun me out of your lives like I'm the psycho fucking child of the family. Well, good job. Good job, Mom. Good job, bro. And I know that probably a lot of you guys are dealing with that same kind of concept. Maybe not. I don't know. But, you know, if you are, just, you know, go ahead and leave some comments down below. It's really difficult for me to not be able to talk to my own family about this, and it hurts. So I can understand how you guys might feel if your family felt the same way towards you. It's understandable. Like, maybe you guys had wives or something, you wanted to talk about this, and they're like, "You're fucking nuts," and you know, or girlfriends, or maybe you have husbands or something. You know, they're just like, "Oh, you're a fucking insane bastard." No, dude, I'm not insane. I'm not insane. I've just been looking at this stuff. I've been questioning things. That's it. It's not a big deal. We all have our issues in life, you know, like we make mistakes, we do the wrong things in certain times, and it's just, it's not quite the same as trying to explain to your own mother about the flat earth. Or your father, you know, who's been in the Navy for 20 years. I mean, like, try to explain it to him. He's like, "Oh, I don't believe that shit." Yeah, well, alright, Dad. I just don't care anymore. I have to like I said, I'm not gonna quit. I'm not quitting. This shit's real. I wouldn't be sitting here talking about this stuff if I didn't think it was real. And I don't think you guys would even be listening if you thought I was bullshitting you. The earth is not what they say it is. That's all I know. Okay? I don't know if it's completely flat. I'm not sure, but I've seen no curvature when I've been on the ocean. I've seen no curvature when I've been on airplanes. It's just a big flat plane. That's what it looks like. So, y'all have a good night. And if you guys are dealing with any sort of family issues, just post some stuff in the comments below, and we can talk about that too. It's been difficult for me as well, and yeah, you know, I can't even call my own mom anymore because of it. So there you go. And it keeps going on, doesn't it? So you guys let me know if you guys are dealing with family issues, you know, girlfriends, wives, husbands, you know, boyfriends, whatever, mothers, fathers, grandparents, whatever. Just go ahead and comment down below. Let me know like what you guys are dealing with. Maybe we can get together and work something out, you know, like motivate each other. You know, there's no reason to be oppressed by that.